you will notice something about this review, and it's that I will mention no flaws because there aren't any. So if you're just here to find out if this movie is good, no, it's not good. It's great. Go rent it. It's on Fandango. If you have an account, you can make a free one and rent it for $6.99 for 48 hours. Or you can go to a Regal theater near you, which seems to be the only place that is showing the limited screening of it. It's not on AMC. It's not in AMC theaters. But I highly, highly recommend that you go watch this if you like Victorian horror sprinkled with nice, thick glazing of indigenous culture. This movie is so unique, both in its production and in its aesthetic and in its story. For being a revenge film, this sticks out in many ways, very positive ways. I wouldn't be surprised if it does show up on my top 10 favorite films of the year. Genuinely. So I'm going to break down for you a little bit of the information that I gathered while researching this movie, because it necessitated me researching some of it. It is very much dependent on not the knowledge base of who the Maori people are, because you will learn about that as you watch the film, but it's so different in its tone and it's so different in its story that the curiosity was piqued for me from the get. So I researched the director. This is his debut film. He is, in real life, Maori, but he is not in any way truly connected to the indigenous people. So this movie was inspired by some of the stories of his great-great-grandmother, who was Maori and very much in tune and connected with Maori beliefs, Maori people. And this is, in a lot of ways, a reflection of him, because the main character, Mārama, is in fact also not connected to her indigenous heritage, meaning she was adopted at a young age. And so she knows of her people, but she's never met her family, and she's been seeking them out. And that's where the story starts. The actress is real life Maori. A lot of the production, a lot of the PAs and a lot of people working on this production are Maori as well. And so that just goes to show that this movie was very much focused on telling a deep, brutal story, maintaining the aesthetic and the culture roots in terms of production. Like, you could see it in the production value. The Victorian Gothic look is not the only look in this movie, and that's what makes it unique. But everyone here was at the top of their game to create this culturally based horror film, folk horror, indigenous horror, Gothic horror film that is at the root a revenge film. It's magnificent. Fuck me, it's so good. And this is going to be an add to my Blu-ray collection as soon as it drops. So the story follows a woman named Mari who is in search of her family history, knowledge of. She receives a letter from someone in New Zealand that promises some information on the women in her family. And so she travels, and she comes across this man who claims to know her and her family. And this man gives her a job as governess to his granddaughter in his house. Now, that is what the trailer tells you, and that is about as far as I'm going to go. But I'm going to tiptoe around some themes that I think you should know going into this movie, because the beginning of this movie has a blatant warning at the start. There's a blatant warning at the start, black screen and everything, white letters, letting you know this movie explores some dark themes, some brutal themes. So if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, anything involving colonization, rape, abuse, this movie does not scathe away from any of those topics, and it shouldn't, because it's very much part of the story that they're telling and very much tied to the colonization and abuse of indigenous people during the 1800s. It goes balls deep. It just really, this movie does not hold back in any way, while still being classy in its depiction of violence. But there's one moment in particular that was very surprising to me to see a movie take it there. And I was just proud of seeing a movie with a message. I was like, we're not going to sugarcoat the message, so we're just going to give you the dick and balls in this. And they did. They gave me dick and balls. The shit was crazy. Obviously, you can sort of figure out that while she's staying at this house, things are awry. And the man who gave her the job as the governess, which, by the way, is played by the actor who played Captain James Flint in Black Sails. And if there was a list of top 10 shows of all time, for me, Black Sails would definitely be in the top 5. Incredible show about pirates. So fantastic. Please, if you love pirates, if you love adventures, but you also want to know more about that time, that is a show to watch. It is fantastic. And we need more pirate material. We need more pirate films and TV shows. I'm always on the search for those. But anyway, he's fantastic in this, and he plays someone who is alluded to in the trailer to have some history colonizing, and is very much a whale hunter. Now, if you know anything about this time period, whale hunters at the time did a double duty. They were, in fact, colonizers as much as they were fishermen, and they did not hold back in regards to how they treated the people they found on these islands of indigenous heritage. It is alluded to that he is a man of this who has this kind of violence in his history, this sort of domineering sense of I am all and all shall bow kind of shit. Maybe it's something that he's trying to repent for, henceforth giving her a job, or if it's something that he is scheming towards. Now, the movie has supernatural elements, and they are very much in vein of something like The Orphanage. It's a very grounded take on supernatural horror. It's not over the top. This is a very dreary movie that takes its time painting a picture before it blasts you in the fucking face with an extremely great and in your face third act. Remind you of something along the lines of the stories of the LaLaurie house. If you're familiar with slave history in New Orleans, there's also another character in this household who works for this main character, and he carries the Maori markings on him. And what I love about him is that he claims to be Maori, but he dances around the white people like he is a jester of the culture, like he's almost demeaning the culture, and you wonder if he's really part of the culture, if he has any background whatsoever. They all speak the language, and so much so that you see these ways that kind of seem manipulative. Like, all of a sudden he knows how to speak her tongue, and you're kind of impressed, but then you're also like, nah, I don't get a good feeling about you. So the fact that you went this far to learn her indigenous ways and her indigenous language, it just feels so narcissistic and so manipulative and so fucked. And you get to see that throughout the film, which is really interesting. But with this one character that is wearing her markings, I just had a ball watching him, because you knew, at least I anticipated, that he would be a huge tipping point for her, because she does have a lot of respect and reverence for her indigenous background that she wants to be more in tune with. And this indigenous background, this indigenous culture is reaching out to her through visions, and these visions can be haunting to her, and you don't know if these visions are painting a past or if they're painting a future. So there is that element of it that is putting a puzzle together. There's a saying in this movie, walking backwards towards your past, and when you watch the end of the film, you see how beautiful that quotation is and what it really means. And I mean, even you could apply it to your life now. We're all walking backwards towards our past. We know we're walking towards our past. We know that, hence the walking, but we don't know what that past looks like, hence looking away from it. And I just thought that was such a perfect quote for encompassing her arc and the entire movie. And by the end of it, it was such a beautiful moment that just hit me in the face. It's not stated to you that it's its meaning, and you could tell that it hits you at the moment that the director and writer wanted you to get it and comprehend it and understand it. This movie is just fucking phenomenal, dude. This movie's revenge tale just hit. Maybe, you watch revenge tales, someone killed your brother, someone killed your sister, someone fucked your dog and then killed it. So many things. But there's something about Marama trying to find herself, and then finding herself finding herself through a revenge story. And again, there are some really dark themes that I wish I could talk about this movie, but I want you to explore it by yourself and feel the shock of it, because when it comes together, you're like, oh, this movie is so brutal and so fucked, and not in gore, but in terms of themes. I'm a big fan of this movie. Definitely going to be on my top 10. I don't know where it's going to land, because it's not the end of the year. We're halfway, but there is no doubt in my mind this will be on my top 10. This is such a great revenge film with such a different take, so much heart behind it, so much atmosphere. I know there's someone out there who will take some kind of offense to maybe the message of the movie or whatever the case may be. Man, look, dude, film belongs to everybody, all right? Film belongs to every fucking soul who has an opportunity to step behind the camera and say something. But understand that that is the responsibility of art, and that is the responsibility of film, is you get to tell stories, man. You get to broaden your horizons. You get to understand things that you, in a time you weren't born in, or about people you would never even you dream of brushing shoulders with. Yeah, man. And watching this movie was just one of those moments where I was like, yeah, this is what film is for. This is what horror movies are for. It's nice to see something so personal come from a director and come in the vehicle of horror, because horror is such a therapeutic genre. You can always tell things literal. You can always do a drama. You can always do an exploration of something and ground it as a reality. And while this is very much grounded in reality, the horror here speaks volumes. And it's not the boo in your face horror, and it's not the super spooky crowd pleasing horror. It is a depiction of true horror. That's all I'm going to say on that. Thank you guys for showing up to another video. As always, you guys, as of now, I'm at 199 subscribers. We're almost at 900, literally one away, and then 100 away from 1,000. I'm smiling because I really did not think that we would get to 1,000. That's small potatoes in the big scheme of YouTube, but big potatoes for me because it's my channel and I ain't focused on anything else. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for supporting, commenting, sharing, and all of this wonderful shit. I'm very grateful, and look forward to tomorrow's review, because tomorrow we are reviewing Obsession, one that was on my top 5 as well, and I'm sure on a top 5 of on the list, all of your list, every single one of you had Obsession on your list, so we're all gonna kumbaya around this fucking review tomorrow. Yeah, man, that's it. Also, shameless plug. I don't always plug it in because it's more of a fun channel for me, but I am doing gaming walkthroughs on Cosmic Controller, which is my gaming channel. The production there is kind of more laid back, but I did buy Directive 2080, which is a super massive game. If you guys are familiar, things like Until Dawn, where you make decisions in a horror game and your characters either live or die depending on that. I will start gaming tonight and uploading the first episode of that tomorrow. If you guys are interested and just want to watch that game, or just, want some more spooky content, you can go over to that channel and watch that gameplay soon. I will be posting it hopefully tonight after I play for a couple hours. Been very excited to play that. I love my little interactive horror games that Supermassive does. So anyway, shameless plug aside, that's all I got for you guys tonight. And as always, I will see you at the pictures. Oh man, that was bad. I'm so sorry.